What's up, Leafs Nation? Welcome back to another game preview. I'm Zack Phillips, and today we're going to be taking a look at game number 59 of the Toronto Maple Leafs regular season as they continue their road trip and head out to New York to take on the Rangers at Madison Square Garden here tonight. We'll dig into the lineups, we'll dig into the power plays, and we'll give out our best bet and hopefully get ourselves back on the right track here tonight. A presentation of Bet365, proud partner of the Leafs Nation pregame and the Leafs Nation After Dark. Open an account with Bet365 today and bet on a huge range of markets. Use code NATION, NATION, all caps, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. So let's do as we always do. And first and foremost, head over to the Daily Faceoff page to check out what we've got for tonight's lines. So we did see and felt like there was going to be a little bit of a change. Maybe they're going to run with what they had against Boston to close out that game, but they put the lines back to normal, and we do get a new player into the lineup here. Matthew Knies, Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner do stick together despite a rougher game for Knies to start the other night. And then it kind of turns around, and all of a sudden, he's on the third line. He's bouncing up and down. Bobby McMahon's moving around. The Leafs tie that thing up. Everything was all moving and shaking, but Knies returns to the first line here against the Rangers. Down to your second line, Pontus Holmberg, John Tavares, William Nylander. I don't know why you would change this one. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Pontus Holmberg might be the hottest player in the NHL right now. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, move aside. We have Pontus, and Pontus has been absolutely lighting the world on fire. Bobby McMahon, Max Domi, and Nick Robertson on your third line here tonight. I'm interested to see how guys like Domi, Robertson, and Pontus handle themselves over the next week here, as it feels like one of the three, if not two of the three, maybe all three of the three could be on the outs come trade deadline day on March 7th, but that's yet to be determined. I feel like those guys will continue to step up their play, and as Nick said on the show when he came on Tuesday night, it's good for everybody if these guys are playing well. Maybe their value goes up. Maybe they can help build confidence. Maybe they fit into the lineup. Like, who knows? But it's not a bad thing to have these guys playing well. The change comes on your fourth line. Lorentz, Kampf, and Ryan Reeves. We saw Rosie and Nick talk about it a bunch on the morning show the other day about how Ryan Reeves hasn't played in a while. Like, this guy has not been in the lineup in a while. Now here you go, Ryan Reeves gets back in here against the Rangers, against Rempe. Will he fight? Will he be physical? Who knows? What are his legs going to look like? We will find out here tonight. But, I mean, this is also why people have to just temper expectations. I like Alex Steeves. I know Rosie got a little bit horny about him, but I saw people online talking about it too. Oh, Alex Steeves this. This is why the Leafs management deserves criticism, is because Alex Steeves was held in the minors for so long. Well, Alex Steeves had a really good game against Carolina. He played okay against Chicago, and then he fell out of favor with Craig Berube, and by the end of the game against Boston, he was being benched. And, I mean, this is a guy who's just not that experienced at the NHL level, and yeah, you can gain some experience by playing in it, but if the coach doesn't trust you and you're trying to win a Stanley Cup, you're going to fall out of favor quickly, lose minutes, lose ice time, and probably not end up in the lineup. And it's no knock against Alex Steeves, it's just the reality of the position the Maple Leafs are in as a team and as an organization. They're not in the training wheels window. They are in the Harley Davidson full pin, full speed ahead, go, 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 let's win a cup mode. You can't be trying to bring guys along and say, hey, let's help you be an NHL player. Are you ready or are you not? And if you're not, you're probably not in the lineup. So, I mean, it's unfortunate to Alex Steeves because he's not going to play here tonight, and that's probably the end of his little runway here, and he goes back to the AHL. And I mean, it's no knock against him, and I feel like we'll see him again, but it's not going to be because he's competing for a lineup spot, in my opinion. It'll be because he's coming up for injury, suspension, whatever it may be. So that is your changes on the forward lineups here tonight. And before we get to our defensive lineups, we are rapidly approaching the trip to Nashville. I know you guys are excited about it. I know a ton of you guys have signed up already, and we are quickly running out of spots on the trip. So if you are interested in joining the Leafs Nation down in Nashville from March 20th to 23rd, you better head on over to nationgear.ca now and get your spot. Whether you want to join Nick or Rosie or Hutz or all three of them. Doesn't really matter. You got to head on over to nationgear.ca. Flight packages, non-flight packages, we've got it all. Make sure to go on over there and check it out. Tickets to the Leafs game, flights, airfare, buses, hotels, transportation, and live podcasts. It's a trip that you do not want to miss. nationgear.ca is where you will find the opportunity to buy tickets for a trip of a lifetime. All right, those are your forward lineups for tonight. Let's get on over now to our defensive pairings. And, I mean, not too much change other than the fact that Chris Tanev will not play. I don't know, honestly. Like, people are going to ask tonight and maybe watch this video and wonder, oh, how long is Chris Tanev going to be out? I don't know. I have not a single clue. Anthony Stolarz was day-to-day until he was out for 10 weeks. Who knows? I mean, obviously hoping for best case scenario here with Chris Tanev, but it could be just tonight and he plays on Sunday, and it could be we don't see him until game 1 of the playoffs. Like, who knows? But regardless, you got to make the best of what you've got, and what we've got here tonight is the following. First pairing for the Toronto Maple Leafs will be Morgan Rielly and Oliver Ekman-Larsson, which I think is probably fair. I mean, Morgan Rielly has, 8 points in his last 7 games. He started to heat up and play a lot better going into the break. He comes out, and all of a sudden, he's a man on a mission. He's raking in points like you wouldn't even believe. OEL looks calming next to him. He gets in the battle. He gets in the mix. He covers up defensively. Like, there's a lot of positive going on between those two guys. They're your first pair. In the absence, that is, of a guy like Chris Tanev. Then you're going to get Jake McCabe, and with Tanev being out, that means Philippe Myers will step into the lineup. They will be paired up here tonight, and I feel like Jake McCabe could be pretty calming for Philippe Myers here, actually. Maybe settle him down a little bit. Then you're going to get Simon Benoit and Connor Timmins. I don't really have too many notes to add there other than Morgan Rielly's playing well. Philippe Myers has to come into the lineup. It's obviously going to be a drop down or a step down defensively without Chris Tanev here, and that we saw at the end of the game against Boston as well. As soon as Tanev left the game, hopefully they find a way to kind of recover for that and make up for it in the aggregate. But yeah, it's a loss not having Chris Tanev play night in, night out, the minutes that he does, the battles that he does, the matchups that he does, all of that will be missed. Then we're going to go down to our power play units. First unit, Matthew Knies, John Tavares, William Nylander, Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews, the 5-forward unit. Obviously, there we see Nylander with the little cautionary logo beside him. I think he's going to be fine to go. I did see Johnny Lazarus, our friend, was at morning skates this morning at MSG. He was saying that Nylander was on the ice with the power play. They did have the 5-forward unit running there, so I do expect Nylander to go. I don't see why he wouldn't. Then for your second unit, we're going to get Bobby McMahon, Max Domi, Nick Robertson, OEL, and Morgan Rielly. This second unit has almost been more dangerous than the first. I mean, I wonder if they can keep it going here tonight, but they've been an impressive group going up together every single night. So they play direct, they play with intensity, they play with purpose, they play straight lines. See if they can keep that here tonight. Now, as per the goaltending, it does seem like we're going to get Anthony Stolarz in net. Joseph Woll apparently has been battling some sickness over like the last week or so. So Anthony Stolarz projected to go in net here tonight. Let's go over to our best bet for tonight's game. And as you guys know, our best bet is presented by Bet365, proud partner of Leafs Nation pregame. Leafs Nation After Dark as well. Open an account with Bet365 today and bet on a huge range of markets. Use code NATION, NATION, all caps, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. So, not going to lie to you guys. We're on a bit of a freezer here now on the pregame best bets. Lost our last 4. We are still up on the season. 5.75 units, so I'm not panicking. $575 profit if you've been following along with every single bet, unit sizing, bankroll management, all that kind of stuff. We're still up on the year, which I think is pretty promising. But last 4 losses, it is something we got to look at and go, oof, how did we get here? How can we make this better? So I'm going to go to Old Trustworthy here tonight and see if we can find our way to dig out of this one. So we go over to Bet365 into the player props section. We're going to head on over to players, close the goal scorers. I don't need that. And then we're going to go to shots on goal, we're going to find ourselves Bobby McMahon, 3+, plus 170. Bobby McMahon, 3+, plus 170. Look, he's the driver on that third line. He gets out there in opportunities on the second line, and if things go wrong with Holmberg, if things go wrong with Nyes, it's Bobby McMahon who gets the jump into that top 6 spot. So Bobby McMahon gets some runway. He gets a tap. He gets an opportunity to go. I feel like Bobby McMahon is going to be a shooter here tonight. He's going to want to elevate. He's going to want to step up and start to heat up as he gets to the deadline and into the playoffs again, because this guy was on fire. And on top of that, if you're looking for other narratives, this guy was on Sports on Prime last night doing the ice surfing, talking with Biz, talking with Witt and Yandel and those guys. Like, he was shooting the shit. He was getting loose. He's getting ready for today. Bobby McMahon getting the national spotlight. Maybe this is the boost that he needs. Maybe this guy has 8 shots on goal tonight and buries 3. Who knows? But I'm just going to keep it simple and go with Bobby McMahon over 2.5 shots on goal, or 3+, however you'd like to word it, plus 170. $50 a half unit on this one. Profits you $85 on the night. That is our best bet. If you did like this one, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, Leafs Nation 401. You watched the boys there this morning breaking down tonight's game. Subscribe as well, because I will be live following tonight's game right here on this channel around 9:45, 9:50-ish there after the final buzzer, and I will be joined by none other than the man, the myth, the legend, Jay Rosehill. So make sure to tune in, hit that like button, subscribe. I also want to see, what do you think is going to happen tonight? Who's winning? Who's losing? What's the final score? How do you predict this thing going, and what is your best bet? Drop those all down below. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in. Look forward to seeing you tonight. Until then, keep believing. For more content just like this, including game previews, post-game live shows, Leafs Morning Take Monday through Friday with Nick Alberga and Jay Rosehill with special guests, as well as instant reaction videos, make sure to be subscribed here to the Leafs Nation YouTube channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything, and drop a like.